Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. We are here back in Nona's Cave for the start of Season 6, where we are about to head into Western Rohan. What do you think about that, Nona?
Our friends from Birtor have weathered the storm.
Our friends have weathered the storm. The worst is behind them, and with my help, they will be well enough to travel. I have spoken with Horn about this, and he agrees that it is best if I bring them to the town in Wildermore where they could start anew. What is the name of the settlement in the eastern shore of the lake? Forlaw? That city will find a place for them, if any will. Sad news this, but it be true. Nurza's path to destruction has caused many houses throughout Wildermore to stand empty. My recovering friends will find a fresh start in Forlaw. Horn and I spoke of other matters as well, Pineleaf. Speak to him and see if you share his mind. Well, all right. Well, what do you say, Horn? You had some ideas?
I have decided what I must do.
Thank you for coming to listen, my friend. I've put some thought into what we encountered in Wildemore, and I must confess that it troubles me. The folk here are on the road to recovery, as are the survivors known or rescued from Bir Tor. But the forces of Saruman attacked this land with much greater strength than I expected they could muster. How much might could Saruman raise to strike at the heart of Rohan if he spared a creature such as Nurzum to deal with Wildermore? Imagine what evils he might unleash upon the elder Edoras. I have decided what I must do, Pineleaf. My king commanded me not to cross the Entwash, and I am honor bound to obey him. And yet I cannot remain silent. I must convince Theoden King to march against Saruman before the wizard's plans bear fruit. If it costs me my honor as a man of Rohan, so be it. I will defy the word of my king if doing so will save even one innocent. I will accept whatever justice the king deems appropriate, but he must be told of what we witnessed in Wildermore. He must be warned, even if it means my life. I've told Nona my decision, and she sees the need of it. She will go to Forlaw with the survivors of the tour, and we will meet again once this is through. Speak now with Corridon and Gleowine, and see what they think of my plan. We'll see whether they think it's a good plan or if it's a daft plan. Hello there, Corridon. How'd you like to cross the Entwash in defiance of the king?
Horn plans to defy the word of his king.
That cannot have been an easy decision for Horn to make, but I understand what's driven our friend to make it. Horn may be imprisoned or worse, but if his tidings can break the king's reverie, it might be the only action that can save the people of Rohan from their enemies. The survivors of Biertor are now well enough to travel. Nona and I will bring them to the city of Forlaw, while Horn brings his message to the king, and we will rejoin him when we can. I think it would be unwise to enter the court of Theoden in the company of a Dunlending girl, even one proven as true as Nona. And it is not she alone who would raise the hackles of the Rohirrim. An elf of Lorien would be as unwelcome. Am I not mistaken? No, I don't think you're mistaken. Hello, Gleowine.
The king must hear what happened in Wildemore.
Yes, Horn can count on me to go with him, Pineleaf. I will return to Adoras in defiance of Theoden King, whom I serve without question in all things save this, for I believe it is right. I am not afraid of death. If the king offers it, I will be the first to praise his justice, and I will surrender to his headsman without complaint. The king must hear of what's happened in Wildemore. I'm certain he will listen when he hears what Horn has to say. Well then, it looks like we have all agreed to the plan, for better or for worse. And we'll just have to hope that it's not going to be for worse. It looks like they'll come with us.
One path remains a mystery to me.
I know now what the rest of us will do, but one path remains a mystery. On what path will you walk, Pineleaf? Will you come with me to Adoras? I do not ask you to defy Theoden the King, my friend. I will understand if our paths must now separate. I would not blame you. This is most like the way of wisdom. It is with my heart I make this choice for myself, but I would not presume to make it for you, by heart or by head. His voice is casual, but you can tell from his eyes that worry lurks beneath the surface. With a comforting smile, you tell him that you will accompany him to Adoras, and for the good of Rohan's people, though it would be against the command of their king. Horn's relief is tangible and sudden. Pineleaf, you are as great a fool as I am. I am overjoyed to say it. It is for the best that Nona and Corden will meet us later, though it brings me sadness to part with them. Two men, a hobbit, the command of the king against the command of the king, and in the company of a Dunlending girl would be too great of an insult. We defy the king, but still seek to be polite. Is this madness, Pineleaf? The two of us, Angliowinna, shall now travel to Hunbald at the Entwash crossing, and tell him we will not be turned away. Very well, we shall go to Hunbald, and we shall tell him we will pass. We have arrived with Horn and Glewinna. Hello there. Yes?
Nothing has changed. I have not received word from Adoras that you may pass.
I intend to pass anyway. You do. Still, you defy the charge and that of my king? This can't be. I can't allow you to cross the Entwash. It is the command of Theoden King, and I will not betray my duty. The two of you have seen battle, I'm certain of it, but this white-haired fellow has seen none that I can tell. Would you have me raise a sword against an old man? Well, I might be able to defend him.
Wait. There is something familiar about that man. Is it Gleoine?
Glewinna, is that you? The minstrel of Theoden? On what account do you accompany these folk? Glewinna sheepishly steps forward, and you realize that Hunbald was never told of the minstrel's exile. It is you, Hunbald continues. It is true what this child says? Oh, boy. Glewinna responds quickly, and Hunbald muses in silence. After a time, he continues. If you will speak for the others, I will allow the three of you to pass, Glewinna. I am merely a simple man of the Eastfold, but you are held in the confidence of the king, and must know his mind more thoroughly than ever I could hope to do. For the good of my king, and for the Rittermark, I will allow you to pass. Do not make me regret this choice. I would cast my blade aside before I raise it against such as you. Interesting. Well then, I suppose we need to head over to Adoras. It appears that we are getting near Adoras. We have the burial mounds of the king here, all along the road. They really want to make their memorial services clear, I guess. But now, here is Adoras, and there's Metacelt up there. already easily visible. And at the last mound, just before Edoras, we find Horn.
We have returned to Aedoras, and death is upon my mind.
Will Theoden King heed my warning we bring, or will he answer our words of caution with admonishment and a more final decree than exile? Horn looks at the mounds to the left and right along the road. How long has it been since Meduseld was raised, and how many kings of Rohan slept here in death? 10 and 6 mounds for 10 and 6 kings. Will the Evermind blooms cover another mound before this war's brought through? Or will no good men remain to build it? Let us continue into the city. Our errand is urgent, and we have little time for my dark musings. All right, head into Meduseld. Last time we came here, things didn't go very well. You have discovered Adoras. Ooh, and I found Gleowine. And a horse. Hello.
Unless I am very much mistaken, that horse is Shadowfax, Lord of the Maris.
The king had gifted Shadowfax to Gandalf the Wizard some months ago, rather against his wishes, truth be known. It seems the horse has found his way back home and riderless. The king will be pleased if he does not already know mighty Shadowfax has returned. That will brighten his countenance for certain. He may be more willing to forgive our defiance of his commands as well. Let's continue on to the Golden Hall, Pineleaf. I am ready. Are you sure he's riderless? Well, I suppose we'll find out soon enough. Now to the mead hall, Meduseld. Maybe when the headsman tries to chop off my head, I'll be so small that it'll just completely miss me. Nah, that's unlikely, isn't it? Hello there, Hama. Long time no see.
What brings you hither against the word of Theoden?
This is not the first time you've come before the Golden Hall of Meduseld. It is in my mind that you were sent from here in disgrace by command of the king. What brings you hither against the word of Theoden? How many unwelcome and unwanted visitors will bring ill news here today? Oh, you're not the only unwelcome guest to come to Meduseld this day. Some are within the Golden Hall this very hour. Oh well.
You are not the first to come here today.
Yes. You're not the first to come testing the word of my heart against the command of the king. Do I compound an earlier error by allowing you into the hall, or do I make it all right with a single throw? Never hear I so rued this post. The will of Theoden is clear, but I do not believe you come with evil intent. You speak of the dangers of the north and all around, but returning here brings the greatest danger upon yourselves. Is that not what the truest sign of your good hearts? The king must be told what you have seen. Speak with me when you are ready to continue into the hall, and I shall take your weapons as is the custom. Then you shall proceed before the king, and we will see if I had misjudged you. I hope for your sake, and for mine, that I have not. Wonderful! As I said, I hope when the headsman tries to chop off my head, he misses.
We have returned to Meduseld against the king's orders, but we do not seem to be the only ones coming to the Golden Hall to speak words of warning.
Oh, who else is up there? Looks like Gimli, Legolas, and Aragorn are there. And looks like maybe even Gandalf. How about that? We are not alone in the hall of Theoden Pineleaf. Let us approach and see who has the ear of the king. But we will interfere only if it is in the interest of Rohan to do so.
Theoden, son of Thengel. I have returned, and I bring warning and wise counsel. A storm is brewing. All good people must stand together or be destroyed.
I greet you, Gandalf, but why should I welcome you? You bring troubles wherever you go. You say a storm brews. I say you are its herald, a bringer of woe and ill tidings.
You speak wisdom, my lord. All around us the news is grim. It is not 1 week since your son and heir Theodred was slain on the western marches. You cannot trust in Éomer. He would empty your city and leave your treasures unguarded. And now Gondor tells us that the Dark Lord stirs once more in the east. It is curious, is it not, that these are the days in which this ragged wanderer returns to us.
A worker of evil may come in fell times, Grima, son of Galmod. But there are also those who come when they are most needed, when days are darkest.
I did not mourn when Shadowfax came back riderless, Gandalf. The return of the horse was made all the greater by lack of the rider.
So it was, my lord. See his rags? Have you ever seen such a beggarly figure?
The courtesy of your hall is not as it was, Theoden, son of Thengel. Has your door ward, Hama, not reported the names of my companions?
I see only churls and vagabonds, and you the worst of them all. Be gone with you, and leave my lord to those who do not wish him ill.
You know not of what you speak, Grima Wormtongue.
Oops. Oh, Greeno seems to be stunned. Maybe even Eowyn is a little stunned. Ah, Pineleaf, I'm glad you made it here from Wildemore so quickly, but I will need to hear your report of the land at another time. All of us have work to do, for the king is not yet free of danger. Keep an eye on Grima if you would. He is slippery, and I fear he may intend further harm to the king. Whether he can work greater harm than he already has performed is a question for which I have no answer. Stay on your guard. Stay on your guard.
Theoden, I offer you my counsel, if you would have it. I have ever been a friend to the House of Eorl, and would not see it come to its ending.
Nor would I, Gandalf. But it is so dark. So dark.
No, my friend, not all is dark. Behold! Beyond your darkened windows there is light. The skies shine above, as they always have. Will you heed me?
Now I see the shadows for what they are, Gandalf. They are fleeting, like a grim memory. How came this to be?
Yes, how came it to be? So, that is done. I think that went rather well, considering what was at stake. We have so little time to waste, and much depends on haste. We cannot spend these precious moments squabbling among ourselves when the real foes lie outside. Save one, Grima. Grima, son of Galmod, called the Worm-Tongue. He is an enemy of Theoden and of Rohan, and he remains within. His fate will rest with the king, as it should. As it should. Will the king heed Gandalf's advice? Will he chop off my head? And what about Grima Wormtongue? We'll have to find the answer to these in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.